What's up, guys? I was gonna snatch today, but it rained last night, or I guess not last night, but early this morning. So my patio is all wet, so I'm not gonna snatch. So I'm just gonna go right into deadlifts. I got 4 sets of 5 on deadlift. Then I'm gonna bench press with chains. I think just 2 sets of 8 there with the bench press. And then to finish up, I'm gonna do some pen lay rows. Hit an AMRAP set of pen lay rows with 1 or 2 back off sets. So that's the plan for the day. I don't have much on my mind. I've been really busy with my new job, trying to get my curriculum all set up and dealing with classes, all that kind of stuff. So I haven't put out a bunch of content for Instagram or YouTube in the past week or so. I'm behind because I got hired one day before the semester started. So I'm still trying to get caught up with all of that stuff. So I'm gonna go through some YouTube comments, answer some questions, and that's what I'll do today. I got no real topics on my mind to talk about. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm gonna take my sweet ass time warming up today. I am sore. Played basketball 2 nights ago. Still have a sore ankle from rolling it last week playing basketball. I sprinted yesterday. I'm just worn down a little bit today. I'll throw a quarter on for one more warm up. People have asked me to do tutorial videos for the Olympic lifts, like how I would teach someone to clean, snatch, jerk, and various teaching progressions and drills to incorporate in a teaching progression. I think there's so many of those out there that I never felt like I was gonna provide any extra value that someone like Greg Everett or Zach Tellender's already posted. Those guys do such a good job with those kind of videos already. But I had to do that for one of my classes this week. And yeah, I don't know. It was it's odd because the class I'm teaching is called Exercise Technique and Safety or something like that. And it's all based on the principles that are guided through the NSCA. So I had to do a tutorial video for the snatch, the clean, the jerk, teaching progressions for it. And yeah, it was something I've never done before. I would put it out on YouTube, but any content I make that is for the university is owned by the university, so I can't put it out on YouTube for anyone to see. Otherwise, that would have been really easy way to just put out some content. But for people looking for tutorial videos, I would just look up Greg Everett and Zach Tellender. They put out so much good tutorial type videos and informational videos on different ways to progress the lift, different strategies to correct various errors. So go look those guys up. I've put some other videos kind of similar to that kind of stuff out, very simple cues, very simple constraint-based learning approaches to fixing execution of those movements. But yeah, I would check those 2 guys out. Yeah, I can throw another plate on. Okay, set 1 here at 585, 5 reps. Oh yeah, I gotta go up. Damn, so I looked at this wrong. I'm supposed to work to a top set of 5, estimate my 1 rep max based off that top set, and then take 70 to 75% of that estimated 1 RM and then perform 3 more sets of 5. So I guess I'll just have to add more weight than I thought I would because it's not sets across or anything, and then do my back off sets after that. What's Will's take on training to failure for hypertrophy training? I'm a huge proponent of training to failure. Just got to do it the appropriate frequency. In Haas Concurrent, we do AMRAP sets once. Well, we'll put it in a block of 3 to 4 weeks, and we'll do that probably 2 to 3 times a year. And those are taken to failure or 1 RIR. So I made a video in the past about this on YouTube. So just check that out, and I kind of dive into it a little bit more. So what do you think about speed and agility ladders as well as the ropes that people shake with their arms? Seems like both are a staple of every Hard Knocks series I've ever watched. So with agility ladders, those things get shit on all the time, and I'm not going to do that because I actually do think they're pretty valuable for not super valuable, but you can use them as part of a warm up. You can mix them into training for younger kids, good way to like develop some coordination with their feet and all that kind of stuff. It's an easy way to just like implement and still get like extensive plyos, coordination. It's a really easy way to get people more engaged in what they're doing because they can like, you can gamify it pretty easily. As far as like the battle rope stuff, so I would never really program that stuff. There's nothing wrong with it, but I would never really program that kind of stuff unless I have to program that stuff due to someone having some sort of like lower body injury where they can't run, they can't bike, where they're just like limited in the options that they can do. But doing those battle ropes, you can still get like a pretty good cardiovascular metabolic response to it. So I'm not opposed to it. You just gotta use it appropriately. Yeah, so regarding the battle rope stuff, those are something you could actually pretty easily implement into training if you want to get a little bit of extra conditioning while you're in season without beating up your ankles, without beating up your knees. And let's say you want to do some conditioning, but you don't want to beat up your ankles and your knees. The next best option is probably to get up on a bike. But if you have a team of 15 to 20 guys, let's say you're working with a basketball team, you have 12 to 15 guys on a team, and you only have access to like 3 or 4 bikes, but you have access to 6 to 8 battle ropes, that just might be something where it could be a pretty good substitute for the bike. Probably still a little too light. I'm gonna go up one more. For the best all-around baseline athleticism as a young adult, what is the best sport to do during one's youth? Ah, shit, you're gonna get me some hate with the answer that I provide here. I'm gonna say basketball, just because it incorporates speed, power, strength, coordination. You sprint, you change direction. You're confined to a small space, but sometimes you can get out and run a little bit and reach like higher velocities. I don't know. I'd rather hear other people's opinions on that too, though. Maybe soccer, maybe football, track and field for sure, hockey. I mean, they're all a good sport. Every sport is going to be crucial to developing all-around athleticism in one's youth. It depends on how you define athleticism. Do you just care about like the quantifiable traits of strength, speed, power, aerobic capacity, anaerobic capacity, or do you care about like the skill side of it? Do you care about the psychological side? Do you care about the cognitive side? It all depends on what you think is important for athleticism, because it's all going to be demonstrated a little bit differently depending on the sport you play. What Olympic lift variations do you think have the most merit in being included in a strongman program? I'm super ignorant on strongman, so I don't really know, but I know strongman, they do a lot of stuff overhead, so a jerk is probably going to be pretty valuable. I'd say a jerk over a snatch, because I feel like most strongman events, you're more in like the front rack-ish type position. You're loading a stone above you and getting it over some sort of implement like a box. I don't know, a tire flip. I feel like a clean is probably going to transfer over to a tire flip more. But I do think, I was talking to Alan Thrall about this when he interviewed me, is that the strongman who can get underneath like a tire flip, or if they're loading a stone and they have to quickly dip to leverage their body under that external load, the people that do the Olympic lifts are just better at that kind of stuff. So I'll say a clean and a jerk. Let's do my next set. 655 here, I believe. Probably a good weight for my top set. And I'll take 70 to 75% of this and do another set of 5. What accessory equipment do you think is most important for people lifting? I'm going to go 1A and 1B here is straps and weightlifting shoes. So I'm not wearing my weightlifting shoes right now. I'm just going barefoot, but those would be the first 2 pieces of like accessory equipment that I would recommend somebody to get. Straps, because at some point your lower body is going to get stronger than your grip. So if you're deadlifting, doing RDLs, any sort of pulling from the floor, you're going to want to strap up. Unless you're competing for powerlifting, then you can do the over-under grip. But most people aren't competing in powerlifting, and most people find the over-under grip, the pronated, supinated grip, to be uncomfortable, like me. And with my epicondylitis right now, if I were to go supinated grip on my left hand, that would really like fuck my shit up or it would hurt. So I'm gonna say straps, weightlifting shoes, and then probably a belt would be number 3. I didn't get my belt until like 6 months ago, but this was like a really good purchase. I can't believe I waited so long to get my belt. And I still like forget to put my belt on some heavy sets. So, but those would be the three things I recommend: straps, weightlifting shoes, belt. I don't use any other accessory equipment other than that. Whew. By the way, I apologize for being such low energy today. It's been a long week. Tired. I'm going up to North Border today in North Dakota. If you guys know where that is, it's like on the border of North Dakota and Canada. Because I ref high school football. So I live in Grand Forks. Grand Forks is north in North Dakota, but I got to go an hour more north from Grand Forks to go to North Border Pembina to ref football. I think it's 9-man football too. Hour drive. Gonna get home late tonight. Get bad sleep again probably. But that's life. Got to make it work. Probably a good weight. I can probably go up a little bit. Is training mile runs a good way to begin implementing cardio into my powerlifting programming? Absolutely. I don't know what kind of shape you're in, if you're fit or not. I don't know how strong you are either, but I mean, think about if you just do 1 mile run, assuming you're not in very good shape, you still can probably run a mile in 10 minutes. That's 10 minutes of cardiovascular training. You can do that weekly easily and recover from it. Sure, like the ground contacts, you might not be super prepared for, I guess. Like you might not be accustomed to that, but it doesn't take long to get accustomed to that. So yeah, training mile runs for sure a good way to begin implementing cardio. And it's really easy to progress in that too. You just do 1 mile runs, 1.5 mile runs, 2 mile runs, work your way up to longer runs. Yeah, I think it's great. And if you find out that your body's not responding to running the way you want it to be, hop on a bike and do mile-long bikes or multiple mile-long bikes. Sprints for big guys, valid or not? Valid. Valid for everybody. Big guys, small guys, obese people. Yeah, go ahead, go out and sprint and just adjust the distances you run, adjust the frequency of it, adjust the total workload to your needs. Most people, when they do start implementing sprints, they enjoy it too. So I've talked about this at length, but I just don't understand why so many people are like opposed to going out and running sprints once a week. I understand if you train at like a Lifetime Fitness or something and there's no turf field around and you have to like go into the basketball court and there's people getting shots up or there's people like walking laps above you and you don't want to look silly by running sprints there. I totally get that, but like, dude, just go out to like a local football field on a Saturday morning. If you have kids, bring your kids. If you don't have kids, then it's really easy to do. So yeah. Do you prefer playing football or basketball? Basketball 10 times out of 10. I'm better at football. I was better at football. That's why I played football in college. I'm only 5'10", but basketball, I enjoy basketball way more. It's my favorite sport. I enjoy basketball more than football. I probably enjoy volleyball more than football, but I have the body of a football player. Last set of 8 here. I just added the 2.5s on the bar, so I got 250 plus the chains. All right, Pendlay rows next. All right, got an AMRAP set of Pendlay rows here at 335. I put the camera vertical so I can put it on Instagram. I also had to disconnect my mic because of that, but then we'll get back to normal after the set. I don't know how strict I'm gonna be on the Pendlay rows. Sometimes I wanna be strict, sometimes I wanna use a little bit of body English. And then I always like mix it up halfway through the set. So yeah, we'll just see how this set goes. All right, 10 reps there. When you perform a clean complex, oh, this is from Alan Thrall. When you perform a clean complex, do you go into the set determined to not drop the bar to regrip, or will you let the bar drop and regrip if needed? Yeah, usually if I'm doing a complex, I try to not hold on, or I try not to drop the bar. I try to keep it in my hands the entire time. It's going to depend on how heavy you're going, obviously. I guess, yeah, to answer the question, I try to hold on to the bar the entire time, unless I'm going to do something like a hang, and then a power, and then a full. So that'd be 4 reps. So the 2 hangs, I'd keep the bar in my hands, but then I would drop it to the floor if I'm going to pull from the floor. So yeah, usually I would say try to keep the bar in your hands, because that's kind of the point of a complex. You're not like trying to get max outputs. You're trying to get reps. You're trying to get volume. You're trying to work on some other things too. So thoughts on static stretching for cooling down? I'm not one of these people that's super opposed to static stretching. However, I don't think it really provides much of a benefit for like cooling down. I think if you want to cool down and you want to get back into a parasympathetic state, you just go sit down and relax. But yeah, stretching is totally fine. I just don't think it like does anything extra for you in terms of like cooling down or getting you into a parasympathetic state than just like relaxing, taking a nice shower would do. Hey, Will, after a year, did you like the sub-maximal repeated sprints training, and do you find it useful? I gotta be honest, after I made that video, I only did it a few times, and then I get too lazy about bringing my timing gates out. So I just got new timing gates. So now that I'm not with UND Athletics, I don't have access to all that equipment, but I just got new timing gates yesterday, so I'm gonna start using them again. So I'm actually gonna revisit this and start performing it more in my training, so I will let you know. For anyone who doesn't know what this comment's referring to, I made a video on sub-maximal repeated sprints. Just look up my name, look up Will Ratelle sub-maximal repeated sprints, and you'll know what the comment's about. But basically, I kind of had this hypothesis, I guess, or an idea, I guess, that if you don't have the space to do tempo runs, but you want to perform like the sprinting motor pattern, you could do sub-maximal repeated sprints, and it's basically like just shorter tempo runs where you're trying to fit. You're not trying to sprint at max effort, but you're trying to stay within a certain percentage of your top speed, and then you repeat those reps. So for further elaboration, just go check out that video. But I'm gonna do this last set here. Pendlay rows, I'm gonna hit a set of 12, and then I'm gonna call it good. All right, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.